Good morning, students. In the last two classes, we read the first half of the chapter, and in this chapter, we read that Gandhi was able to get the compensation back from the Britishers, and British planters they were ready to pay back the compensation, but they offered only 25% to be given back, and Gandhiji shocked and surprised everybody by agreeing to get only 25% of the compensation. And at last, the the conflict was broken, means it actually ended. And why Gandhiji agreed to take that 25% only? Because Gandhiji, according to Gandhiji, the more important thing than money was that the Britishers they were surrendering their prestige, they were surrendering their honor and regard and respect also with that 25%. So, according to Gandhi, money was not important at that time. The more important thing was that at last the British planters they came to know that they could be challenged in India, and they also had to, you can say, they had to obey the rules and regulations and law also, because before that they thought that they were above law. And at the same time, the peasants they also achieved something. They also achieved this thought that and belief that they had rights, and they had supporters also, they had defenders, and they learned courage. At last they became courageous. So, till now, we have read that all the things actually justified Gandhi's position. And within a few years, what actually happened that Britishers also abandoned. This is page number 53, first paragraph. Gandhi justified his own position, and then what actually happened? British planters abandoned their estates. Abandoned means they left, they gave up their estates, which reverted means which were given back, which were returned to the peasants, and indigo sharecropping disappeared forever. After that there was no indigo sharecropping in Champaran or in Bihar. It actually ended forever. Gandhi never contented himself with large political or economic solutions. Now, Gandhi was a very different kind of man. Please underline this word contented. Contented here means satisfied. He never got satisfied with his political or economic solutions. So he saw that the cultural and economic backwardness in the Champaran villages and wanted to do something about it immediately. Gandhi noticed that not only these villages they were politically or economically backward, but at the same time they were culturally and socially also backward. Cultural and social backwardness was there in the villages, and Gandhiji wanted to do something against it. So he appealed for teachers. Now he noticed that there were no schools, so he asked the teachers, he appealed the teachers, and Mahadev Desai and Narhari Parikh, two young men who had just joined Gandhi as disciples. What is the meaning of disciple here? Disciple means follower. So Gandhi noticed that because these villages they were socially and culturally backward, so they asked the teachers to come forward and start some schools, start teaching these children who were devoid of any kind of education because of lack of schools, lack of educational facilities. So Mahadev Desai and Narhari Parikh, these were the two people who were following Gandhiji, and their wives also. These two people and their wives they volunteered with, means with their own wish, voluntarily for work they came forward. Several more came from Bombay, Pune, and other distant parts of the land. Devdas, Gandhi's youngest son, arrived from ashram. Not only other people came forward, but Gandhi's own son, his youngest son, whose name was Devdas, this Devdas also came forward from the ashram from Gujarat, and so did Mrs. Gandhi also. Mrs. Gandhi also came, and primary schools were opened for six villages. In six villages, Gandhi was able to open primary schools. Kasturba, who was Mrs. Gandhi, Gandhi's wife, Kasturba Gandhi, taught the ashram rules on personal cleanliness and community sanitation. What was done by Mrs. Gandhi? Mrs. Gandhi taught the ladies of the area about something about personal cleanliness and community sanitation, about health, about cleanliness. These lessons were given by Mrs. Kasturba Gandhi also. Conditions were miserable. Health conditions were very pitiable in this area. Miserable means in a very bad condition. Gandhi got, or maybe terrible. Gandhi got a doctor to volunteer his services for 6 months, and Gandhi now wanted that some doctors should also come and they should also serve this area. And a doctor came forward and he volunteered. He wished to work without taking any money, free of cost. Three medicines were available, but in that time only three medicines were available. Number one, castor oil; number two, quinine; and number three, sulfur ointment. These three medicines were available with the doctor: castor oil, quinine, and sulfur ointment. Anybody who showed a coated tongue, coated means, you can say, uh, covered with dirt, means dirty tongue, was given a dose of castor oil. Anybody with malaria fever received quinine plus castor oil. Anybody with skin eruptions means any kind of rashes or skin disorder, received ointment plus castor oil. Means for each and every kind of, you can say, disease, the doctor was giving these three medicines only: castor oil, quinine, sulfur ointment. If anybody had a bad dirty tongue, he was given castor oil. Anybody with malaria fever received quinine. Anybody with skin eruptions received ointment plus castor oil. So every time the same kind of medicines were given and prescribed by the doctor. Gandhi noticed the filthy state of women's clothes. Now, this is very important. What is the meaning of filthy? Filthy means very dirty, worn and torn state of women's clothes. He noticed that the women, they were very badly dressed and their clothes were torn. They were in rags. फटे पुराने कपड़ों में थी औरतें. He asked Kasturba to talk to them about it. Kasturba was Mrs. Gandhi. One woman took Kasturba into her hut and said, "Look, there is no box or cupboard here for clothes. The sari I am wearing is the only one. Look at the poverty. These are poverty stricken people, and they even did not have, you can say, a pair of clothes to, you can say, exchange, because they only had a single pair of cloth, and that they were wearing, and they did not have, you can say, many dresses to change or for change. That is why a lady took Mrs. Gandhi into the house and she showed that there were no more dresses in her cupboards, or there were no cupboards actually. This shows the pathetic condition of these people. These people, they are really living in abject poverty. During his long stay in Champaran, Gandhi kept a long distance watch on the ashram. Now, Gandhi was such a multi-talented man. Not only he was looking after the Champaran business, but at the same time he started working from Champaran, and he was looking a very close watch on the ashram also, and he was doing his accounts work there only. He sent regular instructions by mail and asked for financial accounts also. He sent regular instructions by mail also. He was giving these instructions and asked for financial accounts also. Once he wrote to the residents that it was time to fill in the old latrine trenches and dig new ones, otherwise the old ones would begin to smell bad. Now, once he noticed that the residents, they were not clearing the latrine trenches, there were some digs, but they were not being cleaned, and they should dig the new ones. Otherwise, the old ones would begin to smell bad. So Gandhi was such a man who knew that the sanitation, the health, the cleanliness was really important for each and everyone in this world. The last page of the chapter. The Champaran episode was a turning point in Gandhi's life. This is very important, and we should understand why this is written by the author. Now, why Gandhi's life was having a turning point? Why this episode was a turning point in Gandhi's life? This episode means the Champaran episode, because it was actually, you can say, completely a change in Gandhi's life. Because before that, Gandhi never understood the basic thing that the Indians could not be challenged in India, and the Britishers could be challenged by Indians in India, and Indians could not be ruled by anybody in India. So, what I did, he explained this. What I did was a very ordinary thing. He understood this now. After the Champaran episode, he understood that he declared that the British could not order me about in my own country. This was the biggest lesson he got after Champaran episode. He understood that Britishers could not order him about in his own country. In India, Indians were the biggest authority. Other people, they could not order them. But Champaran did not begin as an act of defiance. Now, this word is very important. What is the meaning of defiance? Defiance means disobedience. कहना न मानना. कहने के खिलाफ कुछ करना. So, but Champaran did not begin. Means when he came to Champaran, he never wanted to defy. Defy means he never wanted to disobey the law. He never wanted to break the law. वो कभी भी कानून तोड़ना नहीं चाहते थे. He never wanted to defy. He never wanted to, you can say, oppose the law. It grew out of an attempt to alleviate the distress of large number of poor peasants. Now this is again very important. He actually he came to Champaran to alleviate. Alleviate means to decrease, to make it less severe, to decrease the stress. He wanted to weaken, he wanted to lessen, Lessen. Alleviate means lessen the distress. Distress means the problems, the sufferings of large number of poor peasants. Means he wanted to decrease the number of sufferings which were given to the poor peasants. This was the typical Gandhian pattern, and Gandhi was always working like this. He was such a different and grand personality that his politics were intertwined with the practical day-to-day problems. Means whenever he was doing something, his political, you can say, agenda was always interlinked with practical day-to-day problems of the millions. It means that Gandhi was not satisfied by getting 25% from as the compensation from the sharecroppers back, for the sharecroppers back from the planters, but he also took notice of the other social and cultural problems also, and he started some schools. He asked the doctors to come forward to provide medical facilities. So this was his way. He always intertwined means he was always mixing the things together with day-to-day practical problems of the millions. His was not a loyalty to abstractions. What is the meaning of loyalty to abstraction here? Means he was not a man of words. वो सिर्फ बातें करने वाला आदमी नहीं था. Not only he was speaking about ideas, abstraction means ideas, it was a loyalty to living human beings. He was always thinking about human beings. He was not giving, you can say, big speeches. बातों वाला आदमी नहीं है. He wanted to do something, and he had practical solutions for each and every problem. In everything Gandhi did, moreover, he tried to mold a new free Indian who could stand on his feet and thus make India free. Means Gandhi always had a dream that he wanted that Indians should be independent and they should think about their own future. They should stand on their feet and they should take their own decisions. Nobody else could take decisions on their behalf. Early in the Champaran action, Charles Freer Andrews, this is very important now. This man, Charles Freer Andrews, he was a Britisher and he was an English pacifist. Pacifist means a person who wanted peace, who is a lover of peace. A lover of peace is called as pacifist. So Charles Freer Andrews was a pacifist, शांति प्रिय आदमी था, शांति चाहता था, who had become a devoted follower, but he was a follower of Gandhi. He was following Gandhi. Came to bid Gandhi farewell before going to. What is the meaning of to bid farewell? To bid farewell means to you can say he was going somewhere and he wanted to say goodbye. To say goodbye means to bid farewell. He wanted to say goodbye to Gandhiji before going to a tour of duty to the Fiji Islands, because he was being sent to Fiji Islands by Britishers, by British government. So he wanted to say goodbye to Gandhiji. Gandhi's lawyer friends thought it would be a good idea for Andrews to stay in Champaran, but all the other lawyers, all the other friends of Gandhi, they thought that Charles Freer Andrews, this Britishers, this English pacifist, he should stay in Champaran and help these people, help Indians, help sharecroppers or other people. Andrews was willing if Gandhi agreed, and if Gandhi would have said that Andrew, we want your help, we need your help, then he would have stayed. Andrew said that he was willing if Gandhi would ask him to do so. But Gandhi was vehemently opposed. Underline this word, vehemently, strongly opposed. Means Gandhi was not ready. He said, you think that in this unequal fight, it would be helpful if we have an Englishman on our side. This shows the weakness of your heart. The cause is just and you must rely upon yourself to win the battle. Now Gandhi said very simple thing, but in a very strong way. Gandhi told the people that this was their, you can say, this is actually a thought that should not come into their minds. Means they should know that they should not seek any help. They should not seek help from the Englishman, because this is a battle that is to be won by the Indians, and Indians should win this battle independently. They should not seek a prop. They should not you can say take any help from anybody from outside. So you think that in this unequal fight it would be helpful if we have an Englishman on our side. This shows the weakness. According to Gandhi, this is their weakness, the weakness of the Indians, if they would take help from an Englishman. The cause is just. The cause is just means they were fighting for a cause that was just. Just means you can say nyaypurn. It was a rightful cause. It was a correct cause. And you must rely upon yourself. Means they should not show their dependency on anybody else to win the battle. You should not seek a prop. Please underline this. Seek a prop means to take help, to need help in Mr. Andrews, because he happens to be an Englishman. Because Mr. Andrews was an Englishman, the Indians should not think of taking help from anybody like Andrews, because the Indians should show that they could achieve anything themselves without any outside help. He had read our minds correctly, Rajendra Prasad commented, and we had no reply. Means Rajendra Prasad said that their minds were correctly read by Gandhi, and anybody could not speak anything against Gandhi. Gandhi in this way taught us a lesson of self-reliance. Now this is very important. This was a lesson that was taught by Gandhiji on self-reliance. Self-reliance means depending upon somebody's own strength. It was taught by Gandhi that the Indians, they should depend on their own strength. They should have a belief in themselves. Now this is again very important. Self-reliance, Indian independence, and help to sharecroppers. All these were bound together. We have already talked about this, that Gandhi was not ready to have only political victories. He always wanted to mix the day to day life problems with the political, cultural, social, and other problems. So he was mixing all these things, and he always wanted to achieve more things. So, here in this chapter, also, he taught us a lesson on self reliance. He fought for Indian independence, and at the same time he helped the sharecroppers, and all these things were bound together. Bound together means they were interconnected. They were actually taught at the same time. So this is the end of the chapter. I hope you would have got something, some idea about this chapter. In the next class, you will be given some questions and answers. Thank you very much. Till then, stay safe. Goodbye.